Hey, 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 what's happening? Chad Allen here. And today we're going to be discussing what if we don't know what's going to happen in the future? What's the uncertainty? And of course, I have my daughter here because my wife's not able to take care of her at this very moment. So I got my beautiful, beautiful daughter. She's sleeping right now. If you can see her, look at that beauty. She's so beautiful. She's a charmer. So Daria has been here for a little more than a month. So we just celebrated her first month birthday this past Wednesday, January 13th. And so we're got to celebrate that. And I'm so amazed that, from the time they are a newborn to the time they are 1 month old or just a little past 1 month, I'm really amazed at how big the head gets. And it's like the head seems like it's bigger than the body, the proportion of the body. So it's really, really amazing to witness all that and see the growth of of a child. So I was telling my wife that it's kind of funny because when you don't want diaper changes and you don't want to stuff, but then once they get older, they're like, no, I wish you were a baby again. I could just kind of hold you like this and and squeeze you, and because of course it's much easier when they're newborns to take care of. Although for some people they may not get to sleep for whatever reason. They don't get to sleep at night. But this little girl right here, we had her sleeping through the night after the first week. And how we did that, by the way, was we took her out of the swaddle during the daytime, so that she'll sleep, but then she'll be awake, sleep wake, so she wouldn't really have a consistent sleep. And then at nighttime before we went to bed, we swaddled her, and then we'll put the hat on her, we'll feed her, and she'll sleep all through the night, even though we wake up at these specified times to give her feeding. She still stays asleep. She doesn't wake up at all. Just alert enough to where she can actually get the milk. And so that is basically how we got her to sleep through the night, which is quite amazing that we were able to do that after the first week. Because I remember my first daughter, we were not able to get her to sleep right away. It took a while. She'll be up off and on. We weren't able to get her to sleep until after. I think by the time she got to month 3, I think Sarah was finally able to sleep through the night. But this little girl right here, she sleeps all through the night, which is really amazing, which is really awesome. So how do we plan? How do we plan for an uncertain future? Because that's really what we are going to talk about tonight. And with COVID-19 being here, with people losing their jobs, and with the incoming president proclaiming that he's going to shut down the pipeline. So you can just think of the thousands of workers that are going to lose their job because that pipeline, which has been running for more than a year, all these poor people will lose their jobs. And then you have the continued economy that's sputtering now because there's of all the shutdowns. We had over, I think I read over 300,000, 400,000, whatever it is, small businesses that have folded because of the restrictions that were placed on them by the governors or the mayors of those cities. So that means not only are those 300 plus thousand businesses that have closed, they no longer have an income stream that is coming in. You can think of all the employees that they had. Some of them just had a couple of employees. Others, they had 10 to 15, or 20 or 30, or even 50 employees. And So all those people are without jobs, and they don't have a income stream that comes in. And so how then, if you're working for somebody, or you have a small business, how are you going to supplement your income? What are ways that you're going to really prepare for that future? Because let's let's say something happened. Let's God forbid that a civil war actually broke out in the U.S. So they're also talking about a great um, reset, right? So let's say all this stuff takes place. So in one instance, they tell you to buy gold and silver because you got to prepare for the future. Okay, that's great, but most people cannot afford gold and silver. Others say you need to prepare for food. You need to have like a 6 month supply of food. Okay, that's great too. You definitely need food. Food is probably a higher commodity to own than gold and silver because that's for survival. Others will say, oh, you have to have a home based business, in order to be able to supplement your income, to have the kind of um, to be able to buy the things that you need. Well, if inflation is so high and you're only bringing in a little bit of money from your job, then how is that going to help you? How is that going to help you survive? So that's what we are striving for. So you got to prepare for the uncertainty, right? And the same thing is true when it comes to health. Like there's a great medical bill that comes, a big time medical bill. You have an uncertain health crisis that arises. You get COVID-19, you're stuck in your house for 14 days, or more, depending on how sick you are. Because some people, it's like having the regular cold and they're fine. But for other people, and a couple of friends I know, when they got to COVID, they went into ICU because they couldn't breathe, they couldn't do anything, and others they've died because of it, right? So how do we prepare for the uncertain future? And these are things that it's always one of those things where there's no real right answer to anything, and there's no really wrong answer, except for the one wrong answer is really to not do anything. It's not to do anything at all. That's really the wrong answer. But the rest of it's not really a wrong answer because you really don't know what is going to hold for you versus what is going to not hold. It might be that gold and silver is what you need, and that's going to get you through the what they call the Great Reset or whatever it is that they are talking about. That might be the one thing that you need. But what if there's a lack of food? So I'm just saying, we don't know the uncertainty of, you don't know the future, the uncertainty of things that are here, and there's a lot of people who have a lot of fear that's coming down on them. You have censorship of Facebook. You have uh, you have hold on. Paper towel. I said, ask mommy to get the paper towel because I'm so there's many things that people are afraid, and a lot of this is because of politics. A lot of this is because of the media purporting a fear on people, and this ends up controlling the minds of these poor people that have so much fear in their life because they believe everything that the media is telling them, or they believe everything that the politician is telling them. And at the end of the day, you as an individual, you really don't have full control over what happens in the world, right? But you do have control over what happens with your own family and with your own little circle, right? So if you have children, like I have children, how are you going to take care of them? What are ways that you're going to provide for them? And this is like one of the things that I really thought about myself, especially after my wife died. My first wife died of breast cancer, and I was left with my 9-month-old daughter, Sarah. And for the first time, I was a single dad. I was a single dad, and there's a little bit of fear there. Like there's a little bit. There's uncertainty. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what to do. Like, yeah, you're a parent. You've been a parent your life, but all of a sudden, it's just you. And for me, being in a foreign country, with people who know little English. Now, there's a lot of people that do know English in the Philippines, but there's some people that just don't have the English. So you're away from home. There's uncertainty there, and you just don't know what to do. And it got me to thinking about what do I need to do as an individual in order to prepare uh, for the future. What can I do to help myself get ahead in life? Because you gotta remember, like being in a foreign country, I had no money. I had no money. I had no. I didn't know the language well, and to come home at that particular time, it was like I couldn't do it. I couldn't come home and face my bedroom. It was very hard to do that. Like yeah, I knew I needed to come home. I knew I needed to go to work and whatnot, but at the end of the day, it's like I don't want to come home because I'm not ready to face my home. I'm not really ready to face it, and so I procrastinated. And I procrastinated, and I even got to the point where I had the money for the plane ticket to come home for my daughter Sarah and I, and I was about to hit the return button to buy the plane ticket, and I did that like 3 or 4 times before coming home. I did it, and I could never bring myself to at that particular time to buy the plane ticket, and I could never figure out why. I was just like something was holding me back for buying a plane ticket, and I'm glad I did not buy the plane ticket at that time because shortly after, my now wife uh, calls me up and said, "Hey, don't buy the plane ticket yet because maybe when we get married here in the Philippines first before we come home or before you go home." And so when that happened, because that's the uncertainty, right? You just don't know what the future is going to hold, and then the blessing of a new marriage coming into play with my new wife, and then my daughter finally having a mother to be a role model after, and now we got this one right here. So, but yeah, there's still uncertainty there, right? Because what if you don't have a job? What if you don't have the money that's coming in to support your family? Then what are things that you can do, or what are things that you're going to do in order to be that kind of provider? Because as fathers, as dads, that is part of our job, right? We are to be the providers of our family. Not only to be a provider financially for our family, but we are seeking so hard to also be the provider emotionally and physically, to be there in the present with them so that they can be raised up to be the kind of, um, in my case, women for society God would just say, "Wow, that is just amazing." So if you're a single mom, I mean, you go through the same thing. There's a time frame where you don't know what to do next because you're just making it happen, right? And so my suggestion is that, because this is what happened with me in the Philippines. Like when I was living in the Philippines, I came up, someone showed me an opportunity. They showed me a home-based business opportunity, and when that home-based business opportunity was shown to me, I knew from the very beginning that was going to be the opportunity for me. That was going to be the opportunity that was going to help elevate myself to new and better heights, and to be able to be an impact, to be not only an impact for my children, but to be an impact for other people, to share value to them. And so I would really encourage you to have that home-based business, because that's very important, right? You need to have an extra stream of income coming in just in case of the uncertainty. If something were to happen, you need to have that income coming in. If you lost your job, or if whatever happens, so you can money. See, people always look at money, and they look at money as an evil, right? They say the root of the love of money is the root of all evil, or money is the root of all evil. And this is the thing that is always in the mindset of a lot of people. So the first thing that they do is that they automatically reject the money, and they begin to look at it as in a very negative and bad way. And so when they look at someone who is wealthy, who has a lot of money, they look at them and say, well, you must got that by being a scam artist. It's like, no. These are the people that are providing you with the jobs. These are the people that are giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to charities. These are the people who are, helping you to become more than what you are. And to impact many people, to impact the people, like say you want to support Christian ministries. If you want to impact the Christian ministry for Christ in a very positive way, you would make a lot of money. You will go out, you will have a home-based business, and you would make a lot of money in order to support them. To give them the funds that they need to go out and win souls for Christ. So that's one of the things that we really need to do. And it could be, and the same could be for any cause, for that matter. And it just doesn't have to be for Christian ministries. It could be for other types of ministries that you support. How about your family? Do you always want to have the best for your family? To have a nice house, a good car that's dependable. To have, if something were to happen, any medical need can be paid for right on the spot and without any issue. You have the best insurance in the world, right? You have the best insurance in the world, so that if something were to happen, everything is taken care of, regardless, because of the kind of insurance that you have, because of the kind of money that you are bringing in to your own business. See, and owning your own business, it's just not giving you the ability to make more money. Just not the ability to make more money, that cause a greater impact, not only on your family, but also on the society as a whole. But owning your own business, this is something that you cannot get with working for somebody else. When you own your own business, guess what? You also get tax write-offs. You have the ability to write off your mileage, the meals, the trainings that you get, right? The business tools that you buy, all the expenses, you get to write all that stuff off your taxes. And then what? Then guess what happens? You pay less in taxes. How do you think all these people? How do you think all the wealthy people get by with paying not as much taxes as you normally would see someone making millions of dollars, that they will pay so much money in taxes? Well, because they use the tax code system. Do you think that people and the president of the United States, or the senators and the House members, do you really think that they are going to be paying millions of dollars in taxes? No way. They get money out of the wazoo from lobbyists who are paying for votes. They're getting money from foreign countries. They're getting money from all over the place. So what do? They operate a business. They operate a business so they can exploit the tax revenue, the tax system. See, when you own a business, you are able to exploit the tax system. You are able to take the money that you make, right? And you're able to pay a lot less. So let's say you make an average of $20,000 to $30,000 a year. Let's say that your expenses are 15,000, right? After the mileage and all that good stuff, so it comes up to about $15,000, right? So instead of paying taxes on 20 to 30,000, you're only paying taxes on 10 to 15,000. Pretty good deal, right? So you pay a lot less in taxes. Now, let's say you had a job working for somebody else, you're paying taxes in, and you have a home-based business. Well, guess what? So let's say you made $20,000 in your home-based business, and you made $20,000 or $30,000 in your on your job. So all that money that you paid in will certainly cover the payment that you need for your taxes, but you probably get money back. Why? Because the money that you put in to the tax system is more than the money that was supposed to go in. So you'll end up getting a refund, just like you normally would if you were to work for somebody else. Because technically, when you work for somebody else and you get a refund, it's because you're overpaying the tax system, right? You're overpaying, so that's why you get a refund. And those who don't pay their taxes, like those who have businesses, they don't pay their taxes on a quarterly basis, etc. But they pay a lot at the end of the year, right? Because they haven't paid like they should throughout the quarter. So there are many advantages to owning a home-based business, and I would highly encourage you to find a home-based business that is right for you, that's a right fit for you. Because when you do that, even if you're working for somebody else, the tax write-offs are wonderful. And when you start making a lot of money once you get your home-based business built up to a point where it could take over, and you're making a lot more money, then you're able to impact lives way more than you will be able to as an employee for somebody else. And what I mean by impact, when you're impacting other people, you are not only are you impacting other people by helping them in a financial way, but you're impacting them in a mindset way as well. Because when you begin to improve yourself as an individual in the mindset and the mind, and you begin to act on those things, then from there, what happens is you begin to see positive change in other people, not only in yourself, because you begin to grow and you begin to be able to lead other people in such a way where the people that you're leading, will see you as a positive influence, and therefore you become an influencer in their life, but not only in their life, but an influencer in the lives of your children, of your spouse, and then from there, you are that is where the true impact begins to happen. The true impact. So whenever there's uncertainty in life, do all those things. Like if you gotta buy gold and silver, buy gold and silver. If you gotta buy more dried food for something that could happen in the future, like an emergency, do that. But all those things, when it comes down to it, there's nothing that really beats owning a home-based business. Because at the end of the day, if all the jobs are being lost, all the big companies are taking over, and they're starting to use robotics, right, as a way to supplement the high pay, right, that they have to pay out. They start using robots, and more people are losing their jobs. Well, a home-based business will be able to counteract those things in order for you to make your money. So I highly encourage you to make money, to own a home-based business. So with that, I end tonight's video call. And if you want to know more about what I do, just send me a message below, or send me a private message, and I will share with you what I do. And I thank you so much for being on the live call. It has been a real blessing, And I'm glad that you got to see my awesome and beautiful daughter, Sachi, as well. You guys have a blessed, blessed evening. Take care. Bye bye.